Hi everyone. So this week I will be discussing the applied learning activities that I did in regards to Module 2. For this week I chose to look at Rowe, Bennett, and Atkins' white racial conscious model. So the first applied learning activity I did was I looked at two studies. The first study was entitled The Long-Term Benefits of Cross-Racial Engagement on Workforce Competencies for Division I White Student Athletes. And basically it just discussed the educational benefits of diversity in regards to athletes and how athletes will have to get used to this increased diversity, especially if they only play sports during their time in college. The study basically stated that when using data provided by white student athletes during their first semesters at 24 predominantly white colleges and universities, the researchers found a significant relationship between contact with black teammates and racial attitudes, although this relationship seemed to vary depending on the sport. So, for instance, the white student athletes who played team sports with a higher percentage of black teammates reported more positive attitudes towards black in general compared to white athletes who play individual sports. So, these individuals would fall in the attitude type of reactive and integral because they are increasing their interaction with individuals outside of their own race. And while they may not completely understand everything that the other race has faced, they are willing to accept this, and in some cases, they're also willing to participate in social change regarding the other race. The second study I looked at was entitled White Male and Minority Racial Consciousness Among White Male Undergraduates Attending a Historically Black University. And basically, the study followed 7 white males that attended an HBCU, or a historically black college or university. The study focused not only on how the participants fit in as a minority at the HBCU, but also how that played a sufficient role in their interactions in not only the classroom and their social environments. While this article only had 3 of the participants who participated who were actually athletes, it was interesting to see how the non-athletes were basically how their experiences at the HBCU changed because of their race. Oftentimes in the classroom, the participants in the study described their experiences as being hyper-visible, especially when it came to often sensitive topics such as slavery and racism. While more times than not, they wanted to say something in the classroom, they felt uneasy because they didn't know how their counterparts would take it, and they didn't want to say the wrong thing, which caused them to fall into the conflictive attitude. However, while they're in the social setting, they often fell into the attitude type of avident and dissident. Due to this, they were often conflicted about developing friendships within the school community and sometimes ventured out to a neighboring institution that was close to them, which they felt was essentially more up their alley or had better privileges and gave them the things that they deserved, because they felt like the institution that they were currently attending was lacking. However, most of them in the study were on scholarship. The second applied learning activity that I did was looking at the documentary White People, which premiered on MTV in July 2015. Basically, the documentary interviewed white individuals on the meaning of being young and white in America. The questions from the interview range from are you being made to feel guilty because you're white to are you having a problem with race on social media? And during the course of the documentary, while issues such as affirmative action, white privilege were addressed, it was not until the issues of race came up that individuals became uncomfortable and said such things as, I'm trying to be careful, or I don't want to offend people. Much like the students in the white, male, and minority racial consciousness among white male undergraduates attending a historical black university study, the individuals in the documentary fell into the attitude type of conflictive on the white racial conscious model, because at the end of the day, while they wanted to say something, they did not want to offend anyone, especially others that were in the room. So that was my applied learning activities for the week, and I hope you enjoy.